The shortest war in history lasted only 38 minutes, and if you want to know more about it, stay tuned. On August 27, 1896, the British Empire and the Sultanate of Zanzibar went to war. And no, this isn't a drill, it actually happened. But don't worry, because the war was over just 38 minutes later, so let's get into it. In the 1890s, the British Empire was at its peak. Its territories spanned across the globe, and it had just annexed the entire subcontinent of India. During this time, the empire also controlled the island of Zanzibar, which was a part of the larger British East Africa. But in 1896, the Sultan of Zanzibar, Hamad bin Thuwaini, who had been a puppet ruler under British control, died, and his successor Khalid bin Bargash took the throne. Now, unlike his predecessor, Khalid was not willing to be a puppet, and he declared independence from the British Empire. The British were not pleased by this turn of events, and they demanded that Khalid renounce his rule and seek asylum in Britain, but the Sultan refused, stating that he would rather die than submit to British rule. This led to the Anglo-Zanzibar War, which began on August 27, 1896. The war was fought over control of the island of Zanzibar, which was a valuable trading post for the British. They had a large stake in the island's clove plantations, which were a major source of income for the empire. The Sultan, on the other hand, wanted to break free from British influence and rule the island independently. At 9 a.m. the British ultimatum expired, and the British warships opened fire on the Sultan's palace and other strategic locations around the island. The British had a massive advantage over the Sultan's forces, as they had a well-equipped navy and a small army of 2,000 troops stationed nearby. The Sultan, on the other hand, had a much smaller force of about 500 men, most of whom were poorly armed and trained. Despite being outnumbered and outgunned, the Sultan's forces fought bravely and managed to hold off the British for several hours. However, by 11:30 a.m. the British had captured the Sultan's palace and other key positions around the island. The Sultan's forces had suffered heavy casualties, and the remaining soldiers fled into the jungle. The war was over. It had lasted only 38 minutes. The British Empire was one of the most powerful nations in the world at the time, while the Sultanate of Zanzibar was a small and relatively weak state. The British victory was decisive, and it led to the end of independent Zanzibar and its incorporation into the British Empire.